Greetings everyone. So children, I welcome you to the chemistry lab, and even if you cannot come to the lab can come to you virtually, right? So if I ask you to look around you, or if you want to look around me, the space is occupied by different things, isn't it? And we call them matter. To study them in detail, we can divide them classify them into again two big groups. Let us see those groups. The first group is a group which is shiny, and if I hit with, it is producing a particular sound. On the other hand, there is a group which is not so shiny. It is not at all shiny. Look at the things. They are not so shiny, and there is no such sound also, right? Then I cannot convert it into a wire. Can I convert it into a wire? No. But I have definitely, or industries have definitely made these wired mesh. Or this is also kind of, this is copper wire from the physics lab. You can see, this is a wire. So there is this property also. Then if I want, I can beat a metal into a thin sheet. Beat the metal into a thin sheet, whereas I cannot beat these salts into a thin sheet. Can I? I cannot, right? I just can't do it. I cannot beat this wood into a thin sheet. I have to cut it. If I beat it, it will break, right? I cannot beat the paper or plastic into thin sheets, right? So definitely there are two different broad groups, and we call them metals and non-metals, right? Now these metals and non-metals also have different properties. What are these properties? These properties could be physical property or chemical property. Now try to understand the difference between the physical property and the chemical property. How does this look like? Well, this is white. It has a bottle shape. So this is its appearance. The size is around, say, 40 centimeters, something like that, isn't it? If I ask you to describe this, you will say it's a small box which is very shiny. It has a small lid there at the end, at the top. So again I ask you to describe this. So you will say that it's a wired mesh. There is a paper in middle. When we describe something's appearance, how does it look like? We call it its physical properties, right? We call it its physical properties, right? What will happen if I burn this wood? What will happen if I burn this? Or what will happen? I have sodium metal here, very dangerous. There are two metals I'll be telling you in this chapter, which are not like other metals. Other metals are hard, shiny. They are very soft, but they are highly reactive, and that is why they are kept in the kerosene. They are highly reactive, right? So these are the metals and non-metals. Now what will happen? Suppose I have this acid with me. I have taken it into a test tube. What will happen if I add, this is a base, sodium hydroxide. So what will happen when I will add an acid into a base? In class 7th you have studied in detail about acids and bases. So what will happen when we do these things? Will these things remain the same? Let us take one example. Suppose I burn this wood. What will happen? I will get the ash and lot of smoke will come. है ना? So iski, can I turn it back into the wood again? No. So we have chemically changed the properties, right? So this is the chemical change when I'll burn it. And if I tear this page into small pages, I'll take a big page, I'll tear it into small pages. Still those small pieces will remain the page only, the paper only. So that is a physical change. So whatever we see of something, that is called its physical property. And when a substance changes into something else, or how it reacts with other things, is known as its chemical properties, right? Now let us talk about the physical properties of metals. Right? Metals are shiny, means we call it, they are lustrous, they have luster. You know, we have steel, I'm wearing this silver also, this is highly lustrous. On the other hand, non-metals are not lustrous, there is no shine. Another property, metals can be beaten into thin sheets. है ना, ये thin sheet है, ये भी thin sheet है. So what is this property? This is known as malleability. They are malleable, right? Whereas non-metals are, they cannot be beaten into thin sheet. आप एक चौक लीजिए और उसको बीट करिए, क्या होगी? वो पाउडर बन जाएगी, isn't it? आप लकड़ी लीजिए, उसको थोड़े से बीट करिए, what will happen? It will crack, है ना? So metals can be beaten into a thin sheet, and this property is known as malleability. Next property metals की है that if we hit them with any object, we get a sound. So they are sonorous. This kind of sound is not produced if we hit non-metal. No such sound, है ना? No such sound. So metals are also sonorous. Then they can be converted into wire, है ना? They can be drawn into wire. You can see this. Means they are ductile. Metals are ductile. ठीक है? So I cannot convert this page into a wire, or I cannot convert this wood into a wire. I cannot convert this salt into a wire. So they are non-ductile. ठीक है? So these are the physical properties of metals and non-metals. After this, I'll teach you about the chemical properties, and for that I'll take you to the smart board. Okay, so let us see the book now, because we should study from the book only. There are lines which carry a lot of information. So let us see what does this chapter has for us. Materials, metals and non-metals. Just now I gave you a small introduction about the properties, about what are metals, what are non-metals. I told you about the properties of the metals, that they are malleable, means they can be beaten into thin sheets. They are ductile, they can be drawn into the wires, right? They are good conductors of heat and electricity. We all know it. Even without studying it into the book, you know it that to connect electricity you need a wire. You cannot put a paper or a cloth or a nylon rope or a jute rope and the electricity will pass through it. It has to be a metal if we want to connect an electrical circuit, isn't it? You know it, right? We also have studied that yes, metals are sonorous, they produce sound, and metals have luster, means they are shiny. Non-metals are just opposite to the metals, right? So these are the physical properties of the metal. This table is given here and objects are given. You have to do it on your own. If you want to add, you can also add your own stuff here and just study their appearance, their hardness. Why metals are very hard, certain metals are so strong, although the hardest metal, the hardest material of the world, when we talk about diamonds, isn't it? They are the hardest stuff and it is a non-metal, carbon based compound hai. Alright, so the exceptions are always there, but before studying the exceptions, we need to pay attention on the real existing world, right? So you can do this table. I have discussed enough here. Now malleability of the metals, you can do it at home. Take iron nails or anything, try to beat it with the help of a hammer, and take anything non-metal and try to beat it. You will find the difference on your own. So that's the malleability for you. Then we have what all characteristics. They are very good conductors of heat and electricity. Yes, we know we are talking about metals here. Now, so they are good conductors, right? Then we have conductivity of the metals. Different materials we have taken. Iron rod or nail, sulfur, coal piece and copper wire. You know it that the electric current will pass through iron and copper, whereas coal piece, you put it in any electrical circuit, there will be no current. Sulfur, you put it in any electrical circuit, there will be no current. Current can pass through a metal wire only, isn't it? You are aware of it now. So these are all physical properties we are discussing. Now, again, what is the purpose of studying something? How we can utilize it in our day-to-day life. So you must have seen that on pressure cooker or kitchen cooking utensils, the handles are made up of plastics, bakelite, you will study later in this class, or they are wooden. What is the purpose? Because plastic and wood are bad conductors, they are non-metals, so you will not burn your hands, right? Electrical wire अगर ऐसे ही चलते रहेंगे तो every now and then somebody will be electrocuted, बिजली का करंट लग जाएगा. तो उसको क्या किया, उसको हमने कवर कर दिया रबर या प्लास्टिक में, है ना, so that the person who is touching it or any bird or animal, they should not get electrical shock, right? Because the non-metals are poor conductors or bad conductors of heat and electricity. So definitely we use it a lot in our day-to-day life just to protect ourselves. Okay. Now let's ductility is we can convert a metal into wire. So metals are ductile. Non-metals cannot be converted, so they are non-ductile. Alright, let's see. Sonorous, yes, they are sonorous, means they produce sound. आपने पढ़ा. So these are the physical properties of some materials. Metals, they are hard, lustrous, malleable, ductile, sonorous, and good conductors of heat and electricity. We are talking about the metals. Some examples are iron, copper, aluminium, calcium, magnesium, gold, silver. Why to forget them, right? So women love, isn't it? Gold and silver, they are also precious metals, right? Do you know that silver is the best conductor? You know, even it's a better conductor than copper, but copper is easily available and it is less softer than silver. Silver is very soft, so it's very difficult that in the summer if the silver wires are being there, though they will all come down, isn't it? Because they'll all melt, right? So that is why wires are being made of aluminium or copper. They are good conductors. Now if we see the bad conductors or the non-metals, we have examples. What are the examples of non-metals we have? Oxygen, carbon, phosphorus, sulfur, isn't it? We cannot survive without a non-metal, and that non-metal is oxygen, right? It's in the gaseous form, but we cannot survive without it, right? So these are the physical properties. Let us move to the chemical properties of metals and non-metals, right? Today, now we are going to study about the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Reaction with oxygen, very common example. Best part of studying science is that it is all around us, isn't it? How? You must have seen your gate, you must have seen the iron objects, you must have seen the doors, you must have seen the window grills. If they are very old and the paint has gone, then they are rusty brownish in color. And if you put your finger over there, you will get a brown dust on your hand, isn't it? If there is an old almirah which is not painted for many years and it is all brown, even if you punch, it may be that the iron sheet is so thin that it might get broken, isn't it? So iron is such a strong metal, but over the years, if it is not protected and it continuously reacts with the air has oxygen, then it becomes rusty or it creates rust. आप example कर सकते हैं, take 2-3 iron nails, keep them in water and just look after 4-5 days, you will see that there is a brown coating above it. This is this experiment and this is the rust. How does it happen? The iron, that is Fe, look here. Iron, the Fe reacts with oxygen and water. Of course, moisture का रहना बहुत ज़रूरी है. तो क्या बनेगा? Iron oxide, ferric oxide. Some extra information. Let us go out of this planet, अपना planet Earth, and let us talk about another planet of our solar system, that is Mars, right? Mars is also known as red planet. Can you tell me why? Those who got the answer, clap for yourself. Yes, Mars is full of ferric oxide. What is ferric oxide? Rust. What is the color of rust? Orangish brownish, isn't it? And that is why Mars is known as red planet. So from thousands of kilometers away, we through a telescope, of course, only we see the red planet. Imagine it is all covered with ferric oxide and that is what is giving it a orangish rusty appearance, isn't it? So अगर आप मंगलयान जो इंडिया का गया है, आप उसकी photographs देखिए तो the surface of the Mars is shown that orangish reddish rust color की. So that's the extra information. Try doing this activity on your own. You will get rust. Otherwise, you look around yourself, you will find rust. Magnesium is another metal. It will react with oxygen and make magnesium oxide. Right? So these are metal oxides. Now, let us see. Yeah. Okay. Now Bojo is surprised that does copper also gets rusted? We don't call it rust, but yes, copper also. If you are wearing a copper ring, or if anybody is wearing copper ring in your house, you see there are green deposits on the finger. There is a green color band formed, right? Or you see in your हाउस टेम्पल, आपके घर में जो मंदिर है उसमें आप देखिए जो कॉपर के छोटे छोटे से यूटेंसिल्स रखते हैं ना, भगवान के बर्तन, इवन दे ऑल्सो हैव अ ग्रीनिश कवरिंग ओवर इट. सो येस, कॉपर ऑल्सो रिएक्ट्स विथ ऑक्सीजन एंड फॉर्म्स कॉपर ऑक्साइड विच इज ग्रीनिश इन कलर. एंड another example, very common example is in your houses there are silver ornaments, silver small utensils for God, or people use silver utensils, glasses and all, because it is very healthy to drink water and that. So you must have seen that silver also, you know, gets a black covering. Then your maid takes some salt, or she takes some lemon to rub it with salt and all, and it gets its shine back. But yes, over the years it starts becoming thinner. क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है? And the word here is corrosion. You have studied it in class 7 that the top surface of any metal, iron, copper, silver, they react with the oxygen, and that top layer is converted into that metal oxide. Iron oxide बन गया, आपका सिल्वर ऑक्साइड बन गया, कॉपर ऑक्साइड बन गया. तो जो ऊपर उस मेटल के मॉलिक्यूल्स थे वो तो यूज हो गए. सो ओवर द इयर्स क्या हो गया, वो मेटल धीरे 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 पतली होने लगेगी. इसीलिए आयरन जो होता है हमेशा उसको पेंट करके रखते हैं ना. यू हैव स्टडीड ऑल दीज थिंग्स दैट दे हैव बीन पेंटेड और वार्निश्ड और गैल्वेनाइज्ड जस्ट टू प्रोटेक्ट देम, इजंट इट. जो बड़े बड़े ब्रिजेस बनते हैं, बिल्डिंग्स बनती है, उसमें लोहे की सरिया ही तो स्ट्रेंथ देती है. तो वो क्या करते हैं, उसको बिल्डिंग के अंदर अंदर डालते हैं, और फिर सीमेंट की पूरी कवरिंग होती है, सो दैट आयरन इज नॉट इन डायरेक्ट कॉन्टैक्ट विद द एयर. अदरवाइज the bridge or the building will become weak and eventually collapse, right? So you have studied about all these things. Yeah, see, copper, water, carbon dioxide, oxygen, ये moist air है, इसमें हमें copper hydroxide और copper carbonate बन रहा है, ठीक है. So this is greenish in color and that is what you get. Now let us see the another property that if we burn a magnesium ribbon, बड़ा soft होता है magnesium ribbon, if we burn it, it burns with a very sparkling flame. Note it down, magnesium ribbon always burns with a very sparkling flame, and ash is obtained. That ash is collected and dissolved in water, and then we test it with litmus paper. What do we get? मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड का सोल्यूशन हमें मिल गया है ना. उसको पानी में डाला, अब हमें पता नहीं है वो सोल्यूशन एसिडिक है या बेसिक है. सो वी विल पुट बोथ रेड एंड ब्लू लिटमस पेपर. दिस यू नो इट फ्रॉम क्लास 7th, है ना. दैट ब्लू लिटमस पेपर टर्न्स रेड in the presence of acid, and red litmus paper turns blue in the presence of a base. So when we took the magnesium, the ash of the magnesium oxide, dissolved it into water, we got a solution, and when we performed the litmus test, we found that it is converting red litmus into blue. Means metal oxides are basic in nature. Note it down, metal oxides are basic in nature. इसी तरह से अब हम लोग क्या करेंगे, नॉन मेटल्स का, ठीक है ना. तो नॉन मेटल के लिए हम लोगों ने सल्फर पाउडर को इस तरीके से बर्न किया, एंड वॉट एवर एश वी गॉट, वी डिजॉल्व वाटर इनटू इट, एंड दैट सोल्यूशन कन्वर्टेड ब्लू लिटमस इनटू रेड. मीन्स sulfur is a non-metal, so the non-metal oxides, when we make solutions, they are acidic in nature. When we when we differentiate between metal oxides and non-metal oxides, it is a very important point. I am repeating it again. Metal oxides are basic in nature, non-metal oxides are acidic in nature, right? Let's move further. Okay, metals and non-metals in acids and base. You have to write the names here, right? So calcium hydroxide, what is the metal here? Calcium. Sulfuric acid, what is the non-metal here? Sulfur. Let us take few more examples. Sodium hydroxide, what is the metal here? Sodium, right? Let's take hydrochloric acid. What is the non-metal here? Chlorine, isn't it? आप समझते जाइए, अपने से ये टेबल बनाइए. मैं आपको एक और एग्जाम्पल दे रही हूँ. Let us take potassium hydroxide. ये सब बड़े कॉमन रिएजेंट्स हैं लेबोरेटरी में. You are in class 8. Hopefully when you will come next year to the lab, we will perform all these experiments. So next is potassium hydroxide. What is the metal here? The metal is what? Potassium, right? Now let us take one more acid, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid. Another one is nitric acid, HNO3. What is the non-metal here? Nitrogen, right? So the metal oxides make the base, whereas non-metal oxides makes the acid. One reaction is given here. Sulfur dioxide bana. When we burned sulfur, we got sulfur dioxide. We dissolved it into water. We got sulfurous acid. इसी में और ऑक्सीजन हो जाएगी, H2SO4, sulfuric acid हो जाएगा, right? Okay. Now let's see something else. Let's move. Reaction with water. Okay. See children. Till here I am sure it is clear. You read it. And now we will study about reaction with water. Sodium metal is highly reactive metal, right? And I have shown you the box of sodium metal. It is not opened. I mean, you should always be very careful while using the sodium metal. Why? Because sodium and potassium, first thing, they are soft metals, they are not hard metals. Another thing, they are highly reactive metal. I mean, they cause accidents, they cause blast in the laboratory, right? So they are being used in a very small quantity, and they are kept, sodium metal is kept in kerosene. The moment it comes out of the kerosene, you know, it starts reacting very, very, very loudly, right? So we take all the precaution in the lab, and we just take out a small piece of sodium metal with the help of the forceps. आप सोचो ये इतनी सॉफ्ट होती है कि हम इसको forceps से या इवन आप अपनी नाखून से भी काट सकते हो. It is such a soft metal. So with the help of a forceps, we take a very tiny piece, say that of a mustard seed or wheat seed. गेहूं के दाने के बराबर ही यूज करना चाहिए. इससे बड़ा पीस कभी भी नहीं यूज करना चाहिए, ठीक है? So this metal is very reactive. It reacts vigorously with oxygen and water, and a lot of heat is generated in this reaction. It is therefore stored in kerosene. There is a question here. Why do we store sodium metal in kerosene, or why sodium metal is always stored in kerosene? This is the answer, right? Now see the reaction. We took a beaker, in that we took water, and we add a little amount of sodium metal, and we have wrapped it with the help of cotton, but इतना small लेंगे, so what will happen if you touch the surface of the beaker, it's warm, it's rather hot. Why? Because when it reacts with water, lot of heat is generated, right? So another extra information, such reactions where heat is generated are known as exothermic reaction. Exo मतलब बाहर जा रही है, thermal मतलब heat. तो ऐसे reaction जिसमें heat बाहर जा रही है, they are known as exothermic reaction, right? On the contrary, there are reactions which will take place only when we provide heat to it. है ना, आप चाय बनाते हो तो चाय में सब कुछ डाल के अगर रख दोगे बन जाएगी चाय? नहीं बनेगी. You have to lit the gas and provide heat to it. तो हम heat provide कर रहे हैं, हम heat भेज रहे हैं and heat absorb की जा रही है, अंदर ली जा रही है. It is an endothermic process. So I am sure the difference is clear. Exothermic जहाँ पर heat निकलती है, endothermic जहाँ पर heat ली जाती है, and only then the reaction takes place. That's the difference. This is extra information. Note it down somewhere. All right. Now generally non-metals do not react with water, though they may be very reactive in air. For such non-metals are stored in water. For example, phosphorus. Bhai, exceptions are always there. Carbon is a non-metal. क्या पानी में रिएक्ट करती है? नहीं. ऑक्सीजन तो हाइड्रोजन के संग मिलके पानी ही बना लेती है. नाइट्रोजन हो गई, क्लोरीन हो गए. यूजुअली दे डू non-metals do not react with water, but exceptions are always there. है ना, phosphorus is highly reactive non-metal, so it catches fire if it is exposed to air. So to prevent the contact of phosphorus with atmospheric oxygen, it is always stored in water. So those non-metals are stored in kerosene. Those metals, sodium, potassium, they are stored in kerosene, whereas the non-metals are stored in water. Not all, very few, those who react, right? Okay. Now, alright. Now reaction with acid. इसके लिए हम लोग ने कुछ एक experiment करे, and we took samples of metals and non-metals. Listed in the table 4.5 नीचे आ रही है, मैं थोड़ा सा इसको ऊपर करती हूँ, ठीक है ना. और with the help of a dropper 5 ml of dilute HCl has been added into each test tube. Observe the reactions, right? If no reaction occurs in a cold solution, warm the test tube gently. हो जाता है कि सबका एक जैसा रिएक्शन नहीं होता, तो हम लोग जेंटली उसको बहुत हीट नहीं देते हैं, स्लाइटली हीट करते हैं, एंड देन वी पुट अ बर्निंग मैचस्टिक्स नियर द माउथ ऑफ ईच टेस्ट ट्यूब, राइट. अच्छा, फिर हमने दो तरीके के एसिड लिए, हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड एंड सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड. लेट मी टेल यू, कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड इज द स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट एसिड. तो थोड़ा 9th-10th में बच्चों को इससे दूर ही रखा जाता है. इट इज़ ऑलवेज advisable that you should always wear your lab coat, because the H2SO4 concentrated H2SO4 is a very strong acid. So पहले हम लोगों ने एक mild acid, dilute acid, hydrochloric acid लिया था, and then we took the sulfuric acid. Okay. What will be the reaction? है ना, हम लोगों ने metals भी ली थी, हम लोगों ने नॉन मेटल्स भी ली थी. चलो पहले देखते हैं कौन कौन सी मेटल और नॉन मेटल ये थी, ठीक है ना. वी टुक मैग्नीशियम, एल्यूमिनियम, आयरन, कॉपर, चारकोल एंड सल्फर. चारकोल एंड सल्फर आर नॉन मेटल्स, दीज 4 आर मेटल्स, राइट. सो सम विल रिएक्ट विथ रूम टेम्परेचर at hydrochloric acid, some we have to warm. Same thing with here, right. Now what is more interesting, that non-metals do not usually, normally do not react with acid. On the other hand, metals always react with acid and produce what? Produce hydrogen gas. How do we know that they produce hydrogen gas? भाई हम साइंस पढ़ रहे हैं और साइंस में जब तक कोई चीज़ प्रूव नहीं करी जाती, इट इज़ नॉट एक्सेप्टेड. सो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. व्हाट विल वी डू? वी विल टेक अ बर्निंग मैचस्टिक्स नियर द टेस्ट ट्यूब. डाल नहीं देना कि एक्सीडेंट हो जाए. We will bring it near the test tube and we'll hear the sound pop, pop, pop. So that pop sound is showing that the evolving gas is hydrogen, right? Means the metals react with acid and release hydrogen gas, right? Note it down. Metals, they react with hydrogen and they release hydrogen gas, right? After this we have reactions with base. All right, reaction with base we will study in the next video. So part 1 is basically the properties of metals and non-metals and the reaction of metals with water, metals and non-metals both, and reaction of metals and non-metals with acid, right? We saw that the acids make bases, acidic oxide, metal oxides, not acidic oxide, the metal oxides, they produce base and they are basic in nature, their solution. On the other hand, non-metal oxides are acidic in nature, right? We also studied that metals, when they react with acid, they produce hydrogen gas. When we bring a burning matchstick near the test tube, we get a pop pop sound. So that shows that the evolving gas is hydrogen. So in this video, we will study about these things, and the part 2 of this chapter will contain the remaining part of the chapter. Right, so the link will be there and it will be one after the another. The link will be provided to you and you can see both the chapters together, right? With this, I leave you here. Keep studying. Thank you very much.